Greetings, folks. If you're a beef farmer, a victim of pepper vulture funds, or the latest victim of the food poisoning scandal in Ireland, you need to listen up to the end of this video. Day 11, stand with James Glazier. For 11 long days, a good man has stood outside Pepper's headquarters in Shannon with nothing but courage and truth to keep him warm. James is not just a case number. He's a father, a neighbour, a gentleman, a human being who deserves dignity. Pepper, we're pleading with you. Meet James, talk to the man, acknowledge the man, hand him over what he's entitled to, the full data access request and a copy of the original blue ink, that's the wet ink contract that you hold in his name. This is basic fairness to anyone who's been hurt or stonewalled by Pepper vulture funds. You are not powerless and you are not alone. Use your voice in writing so it cannot be ignored. Email Pepper's headquarters to comms@peppergroup.ie, that's COMMS@peppergroup.ie, and also register post a letter to Pepper Advantage at PO Box 13698 to Shannon in County Clare, and ask them for your own data access request and a copy of the original blue ink, wet ink contract agreement, because James has told them time and time again he had no contract with Pepper. But look, folks, keep all your actions peaceful, lawful and respectful, because we're stronger when we stand with grace. A plate should never cost a life. I call for full accountability and clarity after fatal Listeria outbreaks. I'm calling for immediate transparent actions across Ireland's food supply chain, following the confirmed death of an adult and 9 known cases in a national Listeria outbreak linked to the recalled ready-to-heat meals. A national outbreak control team chaired by the HSE is investigating. I myself have met people on my travels who were violently ill. One gentleman told me he reported his suspected food poisoning to a store and later received a late night call from a senior retail director in the top office late on a Sunday night telling him that someone had died. Imagine, folks, hearing that while you're still waiting to see if the hospital can stop you becoming the second. You cannot put a price on a life. The Food Safety Authority of Ireland has confirmed an extensive precautionary recall of wide range of prepared meals produced by Ballymaguire Foods and sold under multiple supermarket brands. I urge consumers to check fridges and freezers and not to eat recalled products. I also want to clear up public confusion about who does what during recalls. In Ireland, food recalls are coordinated by the FSAI with the HSE, while the CCPC oversees non-food consumer product recalls. There can be no passing the buck here. When food is concerned, folks, the FSAI leads and retailers must act without delay. So the concerns I'm raising in specific are: report that the short shelf life chill foods, so like your salad bar items, may be transported between stores and reshelved at discount, potentially compromising temperatures, control and safety. I'm calling for urgent spot checks and retail audits on any store to store redistribution to ready-to-eat chilled foods. The need for cold chain transparency. Retailers now should be able to show time, temperature records for implicated batches on request by inspectors, and recall the effectiveness checks, clear, visible point-of-sale notices and proof that products were removed promptly across every outlet. If corners were cut, folks, moving yesterday's salads around Ireland to save a few euros, expect to be called in by the public you serve. We need full accountability from producers, distributors and retailers. Lives depend on it. So my immediate asks are to publish the recall coverage from the FSA HSE to publish recall effectiveness summaries by chain and region so the public can see what was removed, where and when. Retail audits, surprise inspections focused on ready-to-eat chilled foods, salad bars, prepared meals, and enforcement where cold chain branches are found. And the single public portal, a plain English leading page linking the current recall list and consumer advice updated daily during the outbreak. And for the whistleblowers line, for frontline workers to report unsafe handling or pressure to reshelve borderline stocks, and support for the affected consumers, ensure refunds without receipts for recalled foods, and rapid GP access for a systematic high-risk groups. This is an open cry on Irish beef. Who's really calling the shots, folks? We are told to be proud of our world-class beef, to trust the logos and the slogans, to believe that everything is grand because the markets are strong. But look closely, folks, at what's happening. This month, Bord Bia secured €2.77 million from the European Commission to promote sustainable European beef and lamb in Asia over the next 3 years, targeting China, Japan and Singapore. But folks, this isn't the first big push either. Back on the 1st of September 2022, Bord Bia launched EU co-funded campaigns worth €8 million across Japan and Southeast Asia to promote European beef, lamb and Irish dairy. The state lined up it neatly with Food Vision's 2030's export targets. Meanwhile, cattle are making eye-watering money in Castleisland marts and Gortaclea marts. A few days ago, heavy beef cross bullocks were hitting from €2,200 right up to €3,720 a head. Folks, that's serious money. But whose future does it secure? Here's what I believe. Today's inflated prices are the sweetener. They're the sugar in the tea before the bad news lands. Because when the music stops, too many family farms could be wiped out, folks, overnight on this island. And folks, who's steering all of this? Processors with global reach are expanding far beyond Ireland. Only 2 weeks ago, I believe, Dawn Meats announced a proposed €128 million deal to take a 65% stake in New Zealand's farmer-owned Alliance Group, subject to approvals. That tells you, folks, where the game is being played, on a global brand, with Irish producers expected to keep pace, no matter the cost to their margins, their land or their lives. So folks, let's be crystal clear about labels and truth. Under EU and Irish rules, beef origin and key production steps must be declared, reared in, slaughtered in and, where applicable, origin. Misleading consumers on origin is illegal. Whatever is packed, wherever it comes from, must be labelled accordingly. If anyone suggests that non-Irish beef could be simply sold as Irish, the laws say otherwise. And if there's evidence to the contrary, it should be put in the hands of the authorities immediately. So the question stands. If Europe is funding campaigns to move European beef and lamb in Asia, who captures the benefits? Family farms here or vertically integrated processors with global supply options? When Irish livestock prices soar, is that genuine strength or a temporary sugar high before cheaper imported supply undercuts the home producer? Who is accountable, folks, for ensuring that an imported product, be it from New Zealand or anywhere else, does not quietly become the standard while Irish families carry the risk? Where are the clear public statements from the government and processors laying out exactly how these global deals align with the Food Vision 2030's promise to sustain rural livelihoods, not just export totals? People across Ireland deserve transparency, not spin. Publish the supply plans, publish the processor margins, publish the safeguarders for origin integrity, for fair pricing and for the future of small and medium producers. If the strategy is to globalise supply while marketing the shamrock abroad, say so plainly. Let the country decide if that's acceptable. Until then, folks, spare us the feel-good reels and the photo opportunities. Give us the facts, the hard facts, in daylight, because once a family farm is gone, it's not just a business lost, it's a lineage, a landscape and a way of life, and that is far too dear a price to pay. Gura Míle Maith Agaibh.